brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Yes, it's sippin' time again. Welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we're the best thing on at 2 a.m. That's was a 1 hour show that's reasonably entertaining for 20-odd minutes.
We're the best thing on at 2 a.m. on your radio station.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
We are banned in 5 states, still including Alabama.
Roll Tide!
3 counties, and the U.S. State Department has asked us not to travel overseas due to some outstanding warrants pending with Interpol. Brent, I told you we couldn't take that into Reykjavik.
I know, but the blue pools in Reykjavik are outstanding.
Yeah, well,
I thought he tried touching Bjork.
That too.
No, that's another one of our restraining orders.
Exactly.
Stop trying to touch Bjork.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, this is Made Man Bob, and joining me today are Made Man Brent.
Pleasure to be here. I love the kind of the castle decor in the basement today.
Well, I try, you know. And Made Man Maury.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for bringing all the sheep in. I feel right at home.
Yeah, you should. Are you my daddy?
You brought special boots. I don't know what that is for.
Good old boy Justin.
Good morning, Bob.
And good old boy Harmeet.
Slanch your mouth, everyone.
All right, Brent, Maury, and myself are with the Bourbon Mafia. The Bourbon Mafia is a nonprofit organization composed of bourbon enthusiasts and industry professionals with representation in 9 states. Our members combine a love of bourbon with a passion for charitable work. The group uses their love of our native spirit to raise money for local and national charities through rare bottle auctions and other themed events. Check us out.
They get together and drink.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook at the Bourbon Mafia or at bourbonmafia.org. Our show is also sponsored in part by the Fort Lauderdale Whiskey Society. To find out more about the society and their events, you can visit them at ftlws.com.
This episode is presented by Flaviar. It's an online whiskey club for spirits enthusiasts. Join the club and get your quarterly tasting boxes, free shipping on full-size bottles, invitations to tasting events, and exclusive access to rare and vintage editions. For more info, go to flaviar.com/sips. That's FLAVIAR.com/sips.
Our sip segments are all about wine, distilled spirits, tea, coffee, and today's show is a distiller's takeover featuring single malts from the Benromach Distillery. We're going to cover some background on the brand as well as on the individual products we'll be tasting, and our samples today were graciously provided to us by Mark Tucker. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
And here's a short list of what we're going to be discussing today. Benromach 10-year, Benromach Organic, Benromach 10-year Imperial Proof, Benromach 15-year, and Benromach Peat Smoke.
It's a short list, but it's a comprehensive list. Everything we're tasting.
You should be used to the word short. I'm just saying. I know his wife.
Because I'm Indian. You think I'm automatically too short for you.
I'm not talking
We're a bunch
about
of
height,
white
buddy.
people. Okay.
So... You notice the urologist on the end of the table is laughing, right? Yeah. All right. So, speaking of, why don't we have Maury tell us a little bit about the history of the Benromach Distillery?
Thank you, Bob. The
He's the
Benromach
urologist. Should he
Distillery
be telling us about penises?
was founded in 1898 by Duncan McCallum and F.W. Brickman. Distilling began in 1900, but due to the collapse of the Scotch whiskey industry, they didn't start distilling until 1900 and closed later that year. That makes sense. The distillery was acquired by Harvey McNair and Company in 1911, and then they ran the distillery until it was closed as a result of the start of World War I. At the conclusion of the war, the distillery was sold to Benromach Distillery Limited and was operated by this company until 1925. In 1938, it was sold again, this time to Associated Scottish Distilleries Limited, which was later acquired by Scottish Malt Distillers Limited. They updated the facilities in the late 1960s and continued to operate the distillery until 1983 when the distillery was officially closed. Gordon and MacPhail acquired the property in 1993, some 10 years later, and modernized the distillery and reopened it in 1998 with none other than Prince Charles officiating at the grand reopening. Hoo-ha, Prince Charles. Although technically a Highland malt,
Isn't it?
Technically a Highland malt, the Benromach is unusual in that it has a slightly peated malt for a hint of smoke. Much like many of the Highland malts of 50 years ago, their water source is sourced from the Chapelton Spring in the Romach Hills, just a couple of miles from the distillery. They ferment the wash for 3 to 5 days in the wooden washbacks and use both brewer's yeast and distiller's yeast to achieve their signature style spirit, which is then put into first fill casks for maturation. For their cherry casks, they have new oak casks made to their own specifications by Antonio Paez Lobato, which are then used to age sherry from Williams and Humbert for 3 years before they're emptied back at the distillery.
It's a big producer, but it's a good producer.
Yeah. They also use select ex-bourbon barrels from the Heaven Hill and Jim Beam, which are coopered in Speyside before being sent to Benromach. The barrels are hand-filled by one of 3 distillers and then rolled into their earthen-floored dunnage warehouses on site for maturation. When the spirit is ready, it is bottled in Elgin, 12 miles up the road. And that's some information on the history of Benromach. And now we're going to have Justin tell us about the SIPS ratings.
We'll be tasting and discussing these whiskeys and rating them with these SIPS ratings plus our signature sounds.
That is the worst Scottish accent I've ever heard.
Is that supposed to be
Here are
Irish?
those
Is he supposed to be doing
ratings now.
Irish?
Holy cow.
1. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth.
Wouldn't be me mouth.
I don't even know if I have the nerve to hit the button for that.
Gangardine, water. Gangardine, bring water. Bring water.
2. Nice, but what else do you have?
Well, isn't that nice?
3. Interesting. What was this again?
Interesting.
4. Let's keep this secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
He's getting the hang of it.
Oh, God.
5.
You guys stop
oh my,
laughing at him.
I was unaware anything could be this good.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I could hear the Lucky Charms in the last one. Give him a break. It's better than I could do.
That was scary. All right. Good God. All right, we're going to get right into it. And we're going to start off with our first product, which is the Benromach Organic, which is 43% ABV. This whiskey is unique in that it is certified organic from start to finish by the UK Soil Association, matured in virgin oak casks. It's got a white color on it. It's got a very, very clean nose, very sweet, very malty. Picking up some vanilla, picking up some very light citrus and some banana notes on it. It's very interesting. And on the palate, hold on. It's light, but it's creamy. It's got definitely got some, I'm tasting the bananas on there, some other tropical fruit. Water seemed to open this up just a tad, not a lot. I wouldn't overwater this. A little bit of spice on it. Light bit of cocoa on the back palate that I'm tasting. It's got a pretty good mouthfeel on it. I wouldn't call it oily, but I certainly wouldn't call it thin. Really an excellent whiskey. I give it a solid 3.
Interesting.
What did you think about it, Maury?
I'd echo what you said, Bob. I think it's very well made. I think it's got all the classic characteristics of a Speyside malt. It does have a nice viscous mouthfeel, not too oily, not too thin. I do like the creaminess quite a bit. I like the nose. It definitely benefited from some air. Letting it sit in the glass for 15, 20 minutes made a big difference. A little touch of water brought out some of the flavors that you mentioned. I would agree with you all the way around, and I, too, gave it 3 sips.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm digging the nose a lot. I really am. It just gets better the longer it sits in the glass.
I think it got. I think it peaked about 20 minutes in. I don't think it got better after that.
And that's what your wife said.
That was 2 minutes.
20 seconds in.
2 minutes.
Yeah, he wishes 20 minutes. Yeah.
20 minutes is
19
good,
and a
man.
half minutes of waiting. Yeah. What'd you think, Justin?
I thought that the nose was pretty subtle. I got nice floral elements out of it. And when I drink it, I just feel healthy. Why? Because it's organic. It was lightly peated and smoked. I gave it 3 sips.
Well, I'm glad that you feel healthy, because that's really what this show's all about.
Yeah.
To your health.
Launch him off.
Slancha.
All right. What'd you think, Harm?
I think the Benromach Organic is not my favorite Benromach, but it is still decent juice. They do a good job at Benromach. First off, I don't fall for all that organic BS. We don't know this really organic. They say it's certified organic, but, they pay for that stuff. Whatever.
Well, you rely on what
cynical.
they tell you. They rely on what they tell you.
I'm
It's
just
like
joking.
walking
Are
in the
you
grocery store.
besmirching the UK Soil Association?
I know.
I take umbrage at that, sir. I
They
challenge
have
you
very-
to a duel.
Very liberal libel laws in England. So
It's pretty
be
organic.
prepared to duel.
Right.
Yep.
Well, no, I'm just being cynical about the whole organic movement.
You
I'm
being
not,
cynical?
not me.
No.
Mr. Bitter is
If I
never
can't taste the
cynical.
pesticides, it's not Scotch. Anyway, I agree with you guys. It's a sweet malty note. I didn't get banana. Who said banana? Is it
I did.
Maury? You-
I know, Bob.
Yeah, on the back. Just very, very subtle.
But what really stood out for me was tropical fruit and chocolate. A lot of chocolate. And I agree with you about the great palate, mouthfeel. It's not oily, but
it's not
heavy.
oily, but it's not
not
light
light either,
It's
no.
just good. It's nice and viscous. It's just slightly oily.
There's a slight green note to it, and maybe it's from the barrel. But I gave it 3 sips. It's good juice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. The 3 sips. It's of course everybody knows that Scotch is not my thing, but there's nothing wrong with this. It's everything's pleasant about it. Pleasant nose, nice mouthfeel. It's just not something I'm going to drink every day, but it's still
Or ever,
it's not
unless we
no,
make
it's,
you.
and it's not over smoked. The peat smoke is light, so 3 sips. Give it a solid 3 sips.
Interesting.
We'll be back.
Rolling clouds and crashing surf, iridescent dunes reflecting by the light of a rising, glowing moon. Seashore mesmerizing, night breeze hypnotizing. We've come across these back roads none too soon. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling. Wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows. My hand is yours forever, sweet love.
And we're back, and we are tasting some fine whiskeys from the Benromach Distillery. So we're coming up to our next expression. So why don't we have Justin tell us a little bit about that one?
Our next product is the Benromach 10-year, 43% alcohol by volume. Gold medal at the World Whiskey Awards 2014. Best Speyside Single Malt 12 years and under category. 80% bourbon barrels, 20% sherry hogshead. Final year in first fill Oloroso casks.
It's a good,
On this one-
good cask regimen. I like it.
On this one, I got a smoky nose. I got tobacco on the front, fire on the mid palate, short finish, and I gave it 2 sips.
Well, isn't that nice?
Heathen.
I just wanted to stab you right there, but you apparently don't like good Scotch.
All right, Arm, what'd you think?
Clearly, Justin did not agree with the World Whiskey Awards. I, on the other hand, really do. It's got beautiful sherry notes, and the smoke is there. But this is not like the smoke you get on Isla. We were talking, Maury mentioned this is a different type of style of smoke. The peat that's in the Highlands is a different kind of peat. It's got a different nose. It's not medicinal. It's more like a wood smoke.
Right. It's not over smoked like some of these
And
other.
if Brent is saying this? Come on.
It's not over smoked where it doesn't. Not this one for sure.
I'm getting beautiful.
We're going to get to one though.
I'm getting beautiful notes of red fruit and a light peat smoke. But you know what else? It's like a suede leather jacket. I remember I read a review a long time ago. It's not members only. This is a more modern one.
He still has a members only jacket.
No, they wouldn't let me be a member. Do you have any sad music? Anyway, it's a gorgeous note.
Thank you very much.
And I, on the palate, it's creamy. There's a little bit of red fruit coming out. I got almost like a hint of grilled pineapple when I added the water to it. And the finish is just, hold on. It is not a short finish. It's a medium length finish. And just to tell you, it's a drop of water. Wow. It's sweet and smoky and leathery. It's just gorgeous. It's 4 sips, easy. 2. You're lucky I don't have a knife on me.
Classified.
I'm going to split the difference.
You obviously have a wonderful economy with words. I look forward to your next syllable with great eagerness.
He provoked me, man. He provoked me.
I think it's got definitely a hint of light smoke on the nose. I mean, it is definitely not an Isla, but there's no question that it's different than the organic. You get smoke on the nose for sure.
And it's not a typical Highland like you get in the modern style. This is a throwback to pre-World War II days.
And the palate's interesting. It's complex. You get some sweetness, you get some maltiness, you get a little hint of smoke. It's a complex whiskey. It's very nice. It's very interesting. It's got a nice mouthfeel. I thought it was very good. I don't know that I'd give it 4 sips, Harm. I gave it a solid 3.
Well, I won't stab you today, Maury. Maybe later.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Calm down, everybody. Just calm down. No stabbing.
No, it was well balanced. I liked it. You know, the nose was nice. It got a lot of fruit on the nose, and I got the chocolate you were talking about as well in there, and on the palate and stuff.
Anybody else get suede? That suede leather type thing going on?
No, I didn't get I didn't get that at all. I got a little bit of nuts and but a little creaminess, but a nice medium finish. It was solid 3 sips. Very pleasant.
Interesting.
I'm surprised Brent gave something from Scotland 3 sips.
I'm surprised he was that wordy.
That's the most you'll ever
What's
get.
your favorite word?
I don't know. It's just more words I've heard him ever talk about on a Scotch before.
What about you, Bob?
I'm with you. I think it's lovely. Sherry notes on it, apples. The chocolate, I definitely get. The leather. And I can pick up, now that you mention it, kind of that suede.
It's like a new suede leather jacket, dude.
On the palate, very creamy. Very, very, very light smoke. With the water, you definitely get the tropical fruit, the pineapple. I think it's a wonderful whiskey. I give it a solid 4 sips.
Well, it definitely benefited from the water.
Yeah,
More
it needs
so
the
than
water.
air.
It's not
water.
something I would drink neat. It
It's
needs
not
the
because
water.
it's hot, but it really brought out a lot of interesting tropical flavor.
Oh yeah, all the fruit flavor came out after the water went in. That definitely amped it up. So
Maury, you got the next one, which is basically this one on steroids.
That's exactly what I like to describe it as. This is the Benromach.
It's quite pungent. Oh yeah. It's a formidable scent. Stings the nostrils.
The Benromach 10-year Imperial proof, clocking in at 57% ABV.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yep.
Or, if you're in the UK, they'd call it 100 proof. This was the 2016 San Francisco World Spirits Competition Best Distiller Single Malt Scotch up to 12 years. So, there you have it. It's sold in the UK and other markets as Benromach 100 proof, but since proof is a different meaning in the US from the UK, they needed to change the name. In the US, the term proof is defined as alcohol content, so a spirit with 50% alcohol is described as 100 proof. In the UK,
double the alcohol content.
In the UK, a product described as 100 proof is 57% alcohol by volume, higher than the 50% alcohol by volume.
So for once,
term
our
would
measurement
indicate
system
USA.
is evenly worked out and normal.
Well, their measurement system is
them
more
and their
belligerent.
damn metric system, we get all kinds of stuff
metric.
about that.
It's about gunpowder, kids.
It's about
Imperial.
It's about that. It's about metrics.
Yeah.
They're all trying to jam it down my throat.
If you soak a pellet of gunpowder in a rum or a whiskey or whatever, and it still burns, at that point, it's 100 proof.
If you soak a pellet of gunpowder in rum or whiskey, you've wasted good gunpowder and good whiskey.
That's right.
And you're an idiot, and I'm not talking to you. Because I can do a lot with both of those things that's really entertaining.
Under 57.1
Until you don't
something,
mix well.
there's too much water for it to
They don't
burn.
mix well into any connotation of the word mix, no.
So on this particular whiskey, the cask makeup is 80% ex-bourbon casks, 20% ex-sherry casks, and then 12 months of finishing in Oloroso sherry casks.
So it's the same as the last one. It's just
very similar, yes. It's an interesting whiskey. It's got a much darker color than just about anything else we've sampled here today. On the nose, there's definitely some prominent sherry notes. There's brown sugar, toffee, some even stewed fruit, a little bit of vanilla, toasted
this
malt.
reminded me almost like a bourbon, didn't it?
Yeah. It had a lot of bourbon-esque notes. It's really got a lovely nose. Very complex. You could just sit and nose it for quite a long time. On the palate, it's mouth coating. It's got some butterscotch. It's got a little bit of pepper and spice. It's got just the slightest hint of smoke. Definitely less smoke than the previous offering. Again, it's a higher proof. We're all here at the table a little bit of a cask proof junkies, so I really liked it quite a bit because the higher ABV. It did benefit from a little bit of water.
Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
It definitely brought out some other interesting tropical notes and citrus notes, and even a hint of chocolate with the water. I really loved it. I thought it was a solid whiskey. I thought it was very well made, and I gave it 4 sips.
All right.
That's classified.
Let's go to Brent because I need to hear.
Oh, yeah, somebody dropped a steroid pill in the barrel. That's all. It's it is amped up from the other one, and it's very pleasant, and it is more like your bourbon note, your typical bourbon notes and things. The
so
nose,
you agree though that I'm surprised.
yeah, no. The nose is amazing. I really love the nose, and most of all of these, I really actually like the nose a lot. And I get I get some sherry on here and some brown sugar, and I enjoy that. And with the on the palate, the pepper really comes through a lot for me, and then it smooths out a little bit with I get some of the citrus notes on it, but a little bit of butterscotch, but not much. And the smoke is not overpowering. None of these yet is the smoke overpowering, and so I enjoy that. And I do. I think it's 4 sips.
Wow.
Hey, hold on, I gotta.
Somebody.
I didn't have my finger. I wasn't ready for that one.
Somebody
Holy
picked
cow.
Bob up off the floor.
Yeah.
He's been buffaloed by the high ABV.
I don't know. Trying to figure it out.
No.
Trying to figure out.
I mean, Maury says this is delicate smoke, but to me, this is decent smoke.
Yeah.
It's just, I think.
It's not over smoked though.
It's the
It's not
perfect
oversmoked.
amount of smoke.
So, Justin, perfect smoke for you?
Perfect smoke for me. It's subtle, and it was a light finish, but a long finish.
He's reached his moment of zen.
And it was delightful. I gave it 4 sips, too.
How were the legs?
I did not look at the legs on this one.
You skipped the legs?
All right. What was your rating?
4 sips.
4 sips. Nice.
All right, Mr. Happy, what'd you think?
Well, I mean, dude, I'm waxing rhapsodic about this whiskey. I love it. Everything these guys
You're a
said.
little swarthy.
Well, wax on, wax off.
Ooh.
Everything these guys said, I agree, and I almost gave it 5, but I really just think it's not quite a 5, so it's 4 sips. It's a great whiskey.
All right.
Did you give a rating, Bob? Or?
Not yet.
Okay, we don't care what you have to say. Just give it a rating.
The sherry on this is big. Much bigger than the prior one. I'm definitely picking it up a lot more on the nose. And you definitely pick up the bourbon characteristics from the cask on this.
I mean,
I love the higher proof.
The brown sugar and the toffee really stuck out.
It's not even so much the proof. The flavor on this is just amped up. This is the last one turned up to 11, and it's not just a result of higher, the higher alcohol content.
It's everything. It's just a little better.
It's not as taken down.
But I still added water to mine. Nobody added water?
I added water to everything.
I added water to all of them after
the
having
fruits on
that.
You add water to
some
nothing.
menthol
Don't look at
notes.
me like that.
No, I added water to all of
pepper
these.
and the spice and the berries on this thing. I mean, it's got an amazingly good mouthfeel on it. Just coats the tongue. It hangs with you for a while. It's got a really good finish on it, a lot of smoke on it. Yeah, I definitely give this a solid 4.
That's classified.
All right. Well, our next up is, let's see, the 15.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
All right.
Okay, our next product is the Benromach 15-year, 43% ABV, the 2016 World Whiskey Award Gold. This is aged for 9 years in 80% ex-bourbon and 20% ex-sherry casks, all first fill, and then 6 years in first fill European oak Oloroso sherry casks. I know that said that wrong, but
Yeah, Oloroso.
Oloroso. But it's a nice.
We need to get him out more, I swear.
Yeah. Keep
We should drink some sherry.
It's our fault. It's our fault as the parents. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's our fault. We should take him out more.
Yeah, this has got a nice copper color to it. You do have the sherry is very prominent with this, especially on the nose. This, and you get a lot of vanilla, a lot of orange. The nose is amazing on this one. I really love the nose. With the palate though, I get some fruits and some plums. But the thing with me is that this one here to me is over smoked. I think it's a little bit too much smoke for me for what it is. I think the smoke overwhelms the sherry and the fruits with it. So, but it's got a nice mouthfeel and nice finish. But I'm just going to give this a 3 sips.
I'm going to give Brent a hug after the show.
I'm still stunned. I honestly don't know what to say.
I can't believe he's giving these smoky whiskeys high ratings. I mean, for
From
him,
behind?
3 sips.
Are you going to hug him from behind?
Well,
Again?
I'm not sure I can get my arms around Brent.
You might need that cheater seatbelt. Yeah.
What'd you think of it, Harm?
Oh, you guys, this stuff is gorgeous. This is whiskey you want to buy, have in your collection. I mean, the 9 years in the ex-bourbon and the little bit of sherry is beautiful, but that's 6 extra years in Oloroso sherry. Oloroso is a sweeter style sherry. It's just gorgeous. Not as sweet as PX, Pedro Jimenez sherry, but good red fruit. But for some reason, orange came out. Anybody else got orange?
Yeah, I got orange, a little citrus in there. Yeah.
I was expecting more red fruit, but I got a lot of orange and then fruit cake on the palate. It was just freaking great. And the water, I mean, I love smoky whiskeys, so obviously this was not too smoky for me.
Did you find it smoky at all?
It is smoky. It's a wood smoke. This is not an Isla smoke like you're thinking.
I didn't find this smoky at all.
Seriously.
Really?
I think you're just getting numb after all these smoky whiskeys.
Well, that's possible, but I'm not a smoky whiskey fan. I thought this whiskey was delicious.
Reset your nose. Just smell your sleeve right there. Get your skin on there.
Yeah, I mean,
reset your nose.
I don't
Try
think
again.
they want to smell in his
I don't want to smell your sleeve.
Yeah, that
Your
would be
own
bad.
skin. Reset your nose. There you go. And now get your nose in that glass. There's perfectly good sweet wood smoke in there. This
Okay,
is
sweet
awesome.
wood smoke, but not peat smoke.
Well, the type of Highland peat gives
it's
that
a
wood
different
smoke
kind
type
of peat.
smell. Yeah,
You're what you're doing is you're in your head. You're thinking Iowa,
which is medicinal, very petrol-y. This is not it.
Remember when we did Westland out of Washington State? That was an American peat, and that was an extremely
Completely
different peat.
Yeah.
It was different from this as well, but it was more along the lines of this because it was not a medicinal peat. It didn't have that iodine, use Band-Aids.
The phenols.
Yeah, it's more of a light wood smoky kind of thing. It's like you put the bottle inside your wood chip smoker and let it sit there for a little while. You know, it's a
Tis wonderful whiskey, my friends, and it's 5 sips. Just do that. Get that button. 5 sips.
Hold on.
You need to upgrade that laptop.
Well, I think I agree with some of what each of you has said.
You're not going to give it 5 sips.
I didn't. No, I thought it was fabulous. It was bordering on 5 sips. I would agree. For me, it wasn't too smoky. Brent said it was too smoky. I thought it had a hint of smoke.
Well, I just thought the smoke
and it was
overpowered
nice.
some of
I
those
didn't
other
think the
fruits.
smoke overpowered it.
Yeah, you like the sweeter
sherry.
bourbon.
The sherry notes were beautiful. I think those 6 years in Oloroso sherry cask did wonders for it. I'm a sherried Scotch fan, and so I really thought that of the whole range, this was really the best one of the.
It's got balance.
Night, morning, whatever. It's whatever we are.
Drink it in. It always goes down smooth.
It does. It has balance. It's got all the aromas we talked about, some sherry, some vanilla, a little orange, a little spice, a little ginger. It's just delicious.
No Marianne?
No.
Just ginger.
On the palate. On the palate.
Don't be a hater.
It's mouth coating. It's luscious. It's creamy.
I believe the definition of Marianne is vanilla.
Yeah. It's
World's
it's an
favorite
excellent
flavor.
whiskey.
Okay, you're right.
It borders on 5 sips. Today I gave it 4 sips.
All right. Oh, Justin, did you agree with anything we said?
Classified.
Not exactly. There was fire on the nose for me, and it was fiery enough that I couldn't get any individual flavors out of it. And I nosed it about 7 or 8 times with and without water. It wasn't bad. It was just fiery. And the front palate was very heavy. It was smoky, and then it was smoky and peaty on the back end. It had a long finish, which I appreciated, and I did check the legs out on this one. They were short. And I gave it 3 sips.
Did you add water?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
After trying it without water first.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Bobby Joe.
I thought it was absolutely lovely. It's got an amazing nose on it. I mean, it's very, very, very nuanced, and the nose really opened up with just a couple of drops of water. The ginger is there. The orange is there. The vanilla is there. I mean, there's not much you could do to make, I think, a better nose than this. Just that light hint of smoke on the palate. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need drinking music for what we're drinking while you taste.
I mean, just absolutely lovely. Just fruit cake, macerated sweet fruits, red apples. It's absolutely lovely. I think it's extremely well structured whiskey. I think it's extremely well balanced. It's got a good mouthfeel to it. I think it's got a really nice finish. It's not the longest finish I've had, but it stays with you fairly well. I give it a solid 4.
I'm the only 5 here. I got you.
It's not just the destination, but baby, the whole elation, riding down this lover's avenue. As slow as the willow blows, or as fast as the whirlwind grows, we glide beneath the stars in cobalt blue. Look to the left, to the right, keep your eyes on the road, my darling, wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows, my hand is yours forever, sweet love. Our eyes ahead on these back roads with a view.
And we're back, and we are talking about some very fine single malts in the Benromach Distillery. So we are down to our last expression. So why don't we have Harm tell us a little bit about that one?
Okay, just hold on one second. I'm just savoring it again. Oh, my God. All right. Our final expression of the evening, or the morning, or the whatever. It's still dark out?
Still dark out.
Yeah. This is the Benromach Peat Smoke. It is 46% ABV. This expression is made from barley that is malted with a phenol level of 67 parts per million. That's on par with like your, I guess, Lafroig and Lagavulin right there, right? This is
I think they're around.
This is the same amount of peat.
I think they're around 70-ish, yeah.
Yeah. Same amount of peat, and even an Ardbeg, I think, is around 67, 66. Unless you go to their Supernova, which is almost 100%, 100 parts per million.
Yeah, the standard stuff,
yeah,
not the crazy,
the standard one.
Psycho peat.
So, but it's matured in first fill bourbon barrels. And unlike Isla peat, this is the mainland peat. Again, I mentioned earlier, this is highland grass and shrubs that have been compressed over thousands of years. And so when this barley is smoked with the peat here, it's not the smell of that iodine, that phenol, that Band-Aid mercurochrome thing going on with Isla. This is a sweet wood fire. This is gorgeous. This is
For the people listening, mercurochrome is a thing that our parents used to put on us back in the dark ages.
When they tried to torture us.
Contained alcohol and traces of mercury to try and make you well, and it's now banned in every civilized nation on Earth and stung like heck. But
it's alcohol, mercury, and iodine, I believe. Yeah.
Isn't it awesome?
So
Mom loved you.
Mercury was good for you then.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this if I had paid attention in the Scouts, I could tell you what type of wood smoke this smells like. But this reminds me very much of sitting by a campfire. And the color here is pale gold with a glint of green here. This is the least
lightest color.
The lightest color. Yeah. There's no red. There's no red from the sherry here at all. This is all first fill bourbon oak barrels, and I actually would surprise it's actually this light, because I think after is there an age statement on this? There's no age statement.
No, I'm surprised at this light after being in a bourbon oak barrel as well.
Yeah,
it's very, very light for coming out of one.
That cool climate.
Climate, yeah. And
Yeah.
also, did Maury talk about the cooperage of these barrels? Where these come from?
No.
Mm-hmm. I thought this was Jim Beam and
Heaven Hill and
yeah.
They're probably disassembled and recoopered, so they may not be doing the same type of char that you're used to in Kentucky. So it's a lighter color. The nose, I just get so much honey and wood smoke, and a little bit of a tiny hint of tobacco, but wood smoke and honey and some citrus. I just want to smell this all day. And the palate. Yeah. I'm just chewing that right now. Good pepper on the front. A little orange and lemon. Some sort of spice. I'm not sure what it is. And great campfire. The finish is medium long, but it's not like that ashy, drying finish you'll get with some other smoked whiskeys. Just give me some more. Where's the bottle? Here, 5 sips, Bob. Just hit the 5 button. Let's do that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Anybody else think the same?
Yeah. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yes, but
that's what I said, dude.
This is the opinion of a Peat head.
Why don't we ask Brent what he thought?
There's
nothing Brent loves more than Scotch, and especially a smoky whiskey.
For contrasting opinion, Brent.
Right.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Napalm, yeah, I love that, and chewing on a log. That's on a burnt log at that.
It's a burnt log.
It's a burnt log.
It's a good burnt log.
Yeah.
Why do you don't be a hater, man.
I'm not a hater. No, let me go.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
The nose on this is amazing. I really love the nose. That's what gets you right off the bat.
Takes you back to your Boy Scouts days.
No, it's not. It's not a.
He's not allowed around Boy Scouts anymore after that incident, So you're not even allowed to say that word because there's a restraining order.
Yeah.
So
the one thing is, when I added water to this, the more smoke really came out of it more, and then I liked the nose less.
Oh, okay.
So I liked it more before I added the water and stuff. Now, I'm not a smoke guy, and so when I tasted this, it was like chewing on a log that you pulled out of the campfire, and I didn't get any of the fruit notes.
Says that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's to me, it's not the log, but it's almost like pulling out the marshmallow that you left too long in the fire. Because there's some underlying
sweetness. Like that at all.
No. This is
that's more a Kalila thing. But
yeah, this is like chewing on a burnt log to me.
There's no sweetness under there.
There's just a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of fruit, but the smoke, the burntness. It's not even a burntness. But the smoke overpowers it for me. So, for me, it's borderline 2, but I'm going to go 3.
You could have gone with 2. I did. Don't bring it up for me.
No. It was the nose is what brought it up for me. The nose I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that you enjoyed the nose, because for me, the nose, while pleasant, overshadows everything. There's nothing balanced about the nose. It's just smoke.
Well, once you add water to it, then you get the smoke. Well, they do it without the water, and then you have.
I must admit, I did add water before, and now it's just a smoke nose.
Right. After you add water, it
pour that out. Try a fresh one. Try a fresh sample.
I'm going to try a fresh one.
Yeah, try a fresh one without adding any water, and then you don't have that. You don't get all that smoke to it. Like,
I was definitely struck by
the water
color
to it. As soon as you add the water to it.
Yeah, you don't be fooled by the light color, especially in Scotland. They don't.
Color means nothing in Scotland.
Yeah.
Because you can add color in Scotland, so it doesn't mean a thing.
No, you're definitely right. There's less smoke when you don't add the water.
Right.
But when
as soon as you add that water, as soon as you add a little bit of water, then the smoke really comes out of it.
Some Swedish researchers did some research about that. Guaiacol is the one of the chemicals that gives that smoke nose, and it's more soluble in water. So as you add water to it, the water rises, or the guaiacol molecules rise and give you more smoke nose, oftentimes.
Yeah.
I think I posted it on the Sip Suds and Smokes Facebook page.
Yes, it was posted.
Thank you for that. I thought on the palate though,
I love Scotch. I love Scotch. Scotchy Scotch Scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
Calm down, Harm. Jeez.
Just saying. Like,
on the palate,
Maury gave you that look after you played. He was talking. He played the stuff.
On the palate, though, it's nice. It's balanced. It's got much less smoke on the palate than you get on the nose, and it's got some sweetness. It's got some creaminess. It's got some complexity. You're definitely getting a little bit of citrus. You're getting a little bit of pepper. You're getting a little bit of hint of some even lemongrass notes. I really think it's an interesting whiskey. It's very complex.
But it has no sherry, and you want your sherry bomb.
No, I don't say, but I'm judging it for what it is and what's in the glass. It's not a sherried whiskey. It's a classic Scotch whiskey with some Highland or Space Height smoke to it. It's extremely well made. You can't say anything bad about it. I give it 4 sips.
I'm surprised you gave that 4 sips, really. Especially after you were saying it was unbalanced earlier.
The nose was pure smoke after water.
Okay.
After you add water.
You re-educated my palate, my nostrils with the unwatered Scotch.
And also, if you smell your own skin, it like that little trick with the coffee beans, that's actually much more elegant way of doing a little sachet of coffee beans to reset your nose, your nostrils, your olfactory. If you can do that with your own skin, it just doesn't look as nice.
Normally, when he needs a reset, I just hit him with a ball bat, but that's just me. Kind of enjoy it, though. I got to admit.
Reset button.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's
what
next?
Do you think,
Justin?
To Peat or not to Peat? That is the question. This is
don't be a sissy.
Very, very interesting Scotch. I never knew before today that there were different kinds of peat. And this one really is like your camping.
Peat is not created equal, my son.
That's true.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you talking about peat or repeat?
Well, I did the peat, and then I did the water with the repeat, and it was definitely
I've been watching a lot of Mickey Mouse
after
Clubhouse
the
with
water.
my kid. So did you know Pete's a cat?
Did not know that.
Pete's a cat.
I thought Felix was a cat.
Felix is a cat from the 40s.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin. Go. Sorry.
We're old.
And I'm eager to try more of these because I want to be able to get the notes that everybody else gets. I just get the peat and the fire and the smoke. I gave it 2 sips.
Wow.
But maybe if I came back to it after 3 or 4 more years of drinking Scotch, I might be able to give it more.
You bourbon guys, I really give you props for trying, though. Yeah. And frickin' Brent is coming around. I swear to God, I'm scared.
But it's not something I'm going to have if
You're
somebody
not
says,
going to buy a bottle.
Right, I'm not going to buy a bottle of it. You know, exactly. You know,
No,
but you'll drink it.
You gotta
I'll
judge
drink it if I offer you
is.
some.
You got to judge it for what it is. For what it is.
Right.
For a smoky,
Exactly.
peaty whiskey, it's very well made.
yeah, you have to judge everything from its character, each individual. So, but it's not going to be a choice when I go to the bar to get a drink. It's not going to be something that I'm going to say, "Oh, give me that."
So how would you give it?
I absolutely love this. This is, as he said, this is an old school, old style Highland malt. Back in the day, we're talking, 70 years ago plus, they were all like this.
Yeah.
You didn't get the very, very light, literally absence of smoke kind of whiskey until pretty much post-war.
Yeah. That's when they converted to gas for drying the barley.
This is what it was all like back then. So, I've been lucky enough to try a few, not a lot, but a few of the older scotches from that area, and believe me, they all are like
that
this.
era.
And
you mean era, but you're drinking. It's okay.
And I absolutely love this. The nose. Oh, it's just absolutely lovely. The citrus just comes up in the very front of your nose. I'm picking up.
I got more honey than citrus. No honey?
I'm picking up the citrus. I'm picking up a little bit of tobacco and a slight bit of just like Dutch cocoa, along with the smoke, which just is absolutely lovely. On the palate, hold on. It's got that just light pepper spice to it. Again, I'm getting the citrus. I'm getting lemon. I'm getting orange. It's got that sort of stewed fruit, kind of fruit cake thing going on. And that smoke is just literally just like a campfire ready to go out. The smoke is just sort of circling and wafting through all the flavors. I think it's an absolutely stunning whiskey. You guys are nuts. I mean, I give this a 5.
My goodness.
See? We know Scotch.
This must be the most polarizing whiskey we've tasted all year. How many whiskeys have we got 5s and 2s? I mean,
That's
think
a
about
great
that.
range.
Well,
Five
let's
and
see.
2.
Any Scotch, and Brent here, usually there's a 2.
No, but I didn't give it a 2, though.
He came over on our side this time. So now you guys lose.
It's not about winning and losing. It's about the fact that
Yes, it is.
We've got
palates.
We've got some real Scotch drinkers, and we've got a range from 2 to 5. I think that's phenomenal. I think it's just underscores the fact
everybody
that
should just go buy a bottle and see where you feel you should be. Yeah,
if you like Peat, you're probably going to go more towards Bob and Harmeet.
But no, frankly, Justin, no, because I've got a lot of Peat head friends who are like, they only want Isla Peat. It's a completely
it's an
different
entirely
peat.
different level of peat.
If this doesn't taste like something you'd find in a hospital,
in that red garbage bag at the hospital.
This whiskey
that's what
reminds
they
me
want.
a lot of the American Peat,
That Westland, right?
Westland or High West Campfire.
Well, High West Campfire uses some Scottish peat, but I don't know where they get it from. And it may not be Island.
That one
but it's
really,
a blend of American and Scottish whiskeys.
That one really tastes like a campfire, when you do that. But on these, it's just the smoke on this one, just kind of overpowers it. And that's what, and you guys love the smoke. And so that's what, when you love the smoke and you want that, that's one thing. But if you're not used to it and it's not your thing, then you don't appreciate it.
This whiskey got a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
2, 3, 4, and 5. So almost the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
So,
but 2 5s, so we win.
Yeah. 2 5s and a 4. We win.
We win.
Yeah, it's
3 and a 2 makes 5.
As he said, this is not when you think of a peat head.
It's
most
not
of the
an
people that you
entry-level
see that are
Scotch
peat
either.
heads are not this kind of peat. Again, this is an old style, which I'm thrilled they're bringing back to us because
who else is doing
love
that? There's another space side producer, Tamdu. Did we ever do a Tamdu show?
No, we haven't done a Tamdu show. But if
They're
anybody is
doing that
listening
too.
from Tamdu, we'd be more than happy to do one. Tamdu is another one that is sort of more old style. And I'm glad that they're doing it because I
and
love
heavily sherried, so it'd be in Maury's wheelhouse too.
yeah.
Listen, I think that these guys have a broad range. I think they've got whiskeys that appeal to all palates. I think their stuff's extremely well made, and clearly we've got some stellar, stunning 5s among the lineup today. So kudos to Benromach. Keep doing what you're doing well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's nothing really offensive about any of them that I found. I didn't find anything offensive,
which is surprising from a guy like you who only drinks those bourbons.
Which is nice. I mean, I really love the nose on everything. I mean, that was.
I'll tell you what else helps them a lot. They're doing it all first fill. They're being smart. They're managing their wood. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
And that really shines through.
I don't think everything has to be first fill. We had some great stuff from Glengoyne, which was first and second fill balance.
Yeah, but sometimes people tend to start getting the older stuff and,
Yeah. You can use old barrels too much.
This is also true. All right, well, that's all the time we have today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can catch all of our episodes online as well on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, PRX, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker, our native media host. iTunes, Google Play, and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sip Suds Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store. Be sure to tap subscribe, and the show will always be on your phone. We love your feedback. And you can reach us online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every day at SipSudsSmoke. And our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news.
Including that article I posted about adding water to whiskey.
Nobody reads your articles. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor, please. Take the time to rate this episode. If you're listening to us online, it's a big help to us. And we get your feedback as well. I want to thank our co-host for joining us today. Thank you, Brent.
Oh, I enjoyed watching Maury chase a sheep around. That was nice.
How's that different from every other weekend? Thank you, Maury.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for the opportunity to get some exercise in.
Did you finally catch him?
I did.
Good. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Bob. I learned a lot today.
You learned Maury. I'm not going there. Thank you, Harmeet.
Thank you all for having me today. This is good whiskey.
Yeah. Pass that one back over here.
Yeah. Give me the bottle.
Yeah, pass that Peat smoke and the Imperial proof back down here.
Bob, I wanted to come back to something you said about the iTunes. Is it not Apple Podcasts or is it iTunes Store?
iTunes.
You can use it on your phone. It's the podcast app.
Correct.
But it's the iTunes Store on your laptop or whatever.
Well, this is Made Man Bob, and remember, life's too short to drink bad whiskey.
Hear, hear.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip Suds and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.